Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us, and sorry for the delay. We were having some technical issues, but we are back in action. So firstly, I just want to introduce myself. I am Tendai Chinho. I am a member with the Zimbabwe Youth Biodiversity Network and also work with WWF. So today, this week actually, we're celebrating Biodiversity Week, and as Zimbabwe as the Zimbabwe Biodiversity Youth Network, we have commemorated this week by having a number of webinars. And today we actually, as it's the 20th of May, also the World Bee Day, we're celebrating bees and other pollinators. We have the privilege of having a beekeeper, Mr. Godfrey Dongaronga, who is joining us today. So before we get into the interview itself, I know we've got a lot of questions and we have so many things we want to hear about bees. We just want to specify and also put into awareness with regards to biodiversity. And we're also having this biodiversity and nature conservation symposium this whole week. This is to raise awareness, to get people engaged, and to bring light and awareness into the benefits and the importance of our biodiversity. So without further ado, and without wasting much of our time, because we're already a bit late, I'm gonna give the floor to Mr. Godfrey Dongaronga so that you can introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and then we can move on from there. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Godfrey.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Godfrey Dongaronga from Environment Relief Initiative Trust. Most of our job is in beekeeping, working with the community, trying to improve their well-being. We have so many projects in different provinces of our country. Also in Mozambique, we are in Kampunzi, we are also in La Panche and Manica. So we are in beekeeping, trying to improve the community livelihood. Fine. My presentation today is going to focus on give bees a chance.
Okay.
So I will start by trying to give a definition for the benefit of both of us. Okay. Beekeeping is the art of rearing bees for quantified products in trying to give a livelihood for the community. So which means people can do beekeeping for selling some products that come out of beekeeping. For example, honey, wax, propolis. And in trying to have these products, farmers of today are trying to come up with innovative ideas. For example, they are now making from wax, they can make candles, they can make shoe polishes, they can make a lot of things, cobra, lip balms, a lot. So one may need to know why keep bees. As other people don't want them at their premises. Yeah, because bees can sting, and it's something a lot of people don't want to see. Fine, I'm going to explain why keeping bees. Bees can generate cash income. You can sell your honey, you can sell your wax, you can sell your propolis, you can sell products from product diversification and value-added products and generate income. You can also lend bees to other farmers so that they can provide pollination services. I will explain the pollination service later in the presentation. Also, bees can broaden the food resources of the family and the community. It also increases calorie intake. As you know, honey can give energy. If you eat honey, you become strong. Honey and wax are valued for medicine. For example, I would like to put this emphasis on pollen. ERIT can extract pollen through pollen traps. Pollen is highly medicinal value. A lot of countries which are advanced, they are now using pollen in making several medicines. I would also want to give you an example. My wife's friend was asthmatic. Let me say was asthmatic. But when she started eating honey that I gave her, now we cannot see any attack from it. So every beekeeping product is also medicinal important. Honey is a source of other honey is also a valuable raw material for home use or added value. It improves local crop pollination, also brings food resources, and encourages dietary diversity. For example, I'm trying to say bees are the most crop pollinators, especially for farming activities, because all farming crops that we use to grow, they are pollinated by bees. By so doing, it also broadens the resources of those crops, because as pollination occurs, it means there is high production. And it encourages dietary diversity. For example, today you can eat something in the home, and then you eat honey anytime, then you can eat any food. So that's where the point encourages dietary diversity comes in. Also, it does not compete for beekeeping cannot compete for land with the other activities, which means you can do beekeeping in a wetland, you can do beekeeping on a dweller, you can do beekeeping in forest. Beekeeping does not even matter about the fertility of the soil. So poor soils also, beekeeping can also be practiced on those types of land. So point no competition. So bees produces food from other unexploitable resources, flowers, tree resins, and other stuff to make honey. Honey is an easily digestible and well-liked food that is good for energy. That's why I mentioned the issue of calories on top, especially for people with poor appetite. If you eat honey, you will become full. But as time goes on, you start to feel like someone who wants to eat a lot of food because of honey. Honey increases appetite in people who lack appetite on their meals. Added value or product diversification products such as candles, cosmetic polishes, and medicine are useful for female income generation. Fine. Beekeeping on itself is full of misconception. People used to say bees can sting, bees can kill, but bees out of a hive cannot sting anyone. If a bee stings you, this is the last option it can do to safeguard its product. Mind you, bees cannot make honey for people. Bees can make honey for their feed. But because of the intelligence that we have, we opt to rob their product. So with the female here, everyone is a beekeeper, depending on where you are featuring in. Yeah, for example, I'm trying to say product diversification, value addition can produce other valuable products, which can be used by a female. Because we know female, they are not that brave to get in contact with such things which have been rejected by other men. For example, people who says bees can sting. Can you expect a woman to approach the bees? So they came into selling candles, cosmetic polishes, medicine, and we can call them beekeepers because they are selling honeybee products. It also stimulates increased economic activity in an area. If you do beekeeping in an area, it means the reward that comes out of that can stimulate the economy of that area. Increased income improves the socio-economic standing of a person in an area, especially important for women. Women are vulnerable. They don't have capacity of making money like what men do. So with beekeeping, women can be well and can be recognized because honey can sell itself.
Okay.
Beekeeping can be started at a little cost and scale up as skill and capital allows. Understanding the value of trees for honey production can encourage people to plant and protect trees. So beekeeping is a tool for forest conservation, and also ERIT is using beekeeping in Mbire, Mutare, Chipinge as a tool or as a technique of wildfire prevention. Because as long as one is included or as one is involved in beekeeping, he is going to feel stewardship towards this project because it gives or it incentivizes the people who are in the project. Increased knowledge generates increased self-esteem and self-reliance, stimulates mutually beneficial social interaction. For example, professional or selling associations, they come up together, they mingle. So that's why we are saying the mutual beneficial social interaction will be created. Mind you, a beekeeper from Murewa, from Zarabani can come, maybe, for example, at ZYBN selling honey. That's where you start talking. You want to know how do they do it, and that's where you can to understand each other. The amount of time put in the venture can vary according to other dictates. Beekeeping cannot stop you going for a job. You can be in America whilst the bees are making honey for you. You just come for harvesting time. So it's time for people to engage into this project because it's cheap.
Okay.
The technology is scalable. One cannot have a solar wax extractor, a smoker, a bee suit, but as beekeepers, we have that Monday, we have got that Ubuntu of giving someone who wants to do his project using my smoker, using my big, we don't even mind. We are beekeepers. We share each other. So we need more people in this project so that we can keep going. The whole family can be involved. Mother, father, children, everyone can be involved because there are some equipment used to stop bees stinging you. It is relatively gender neutral. Anyone can do this. Fine. Bees and the environment. Bees are used as a tool, like what I said, to prevent wildfire. For environmental conservation, this is British apiary for ERIT. This area used to have a lot of wildfires, but for now, I can tell you we are 4 years now without experiencing wildfires. Why? Because we put fire guard right around the farm so that we safeguard our bees. We also experienced a lot of deforestation in this area, but now we are set free with the bees. We are set free with the bees. People cannot come and cut trees because if you cut trees just 5 meters away from a hive, bees will do you something that you can come and tell us. You can tell us history. So bees are used as a tool for environmental conservation. Fine. Bees and the environment, so it's continuous. Bees play a crucial role in agriculture. For example, I said pollination services. They help in food security, allows community to come together for wetland rehabilitation and revegetation. I can give a case study of Gomboruti Nira community in close to Honda Valley in DC. There, Emma spearheaded the project where the community were brought together, rehabilitating wetland which have been jeopardized by communities, thereby putting bees in that wetland to safeguard the continuous jeopardization of that wetland. Bees are an innovative technique or tool for wildfires outbreak. I earlier on said, whenever you practice beekeeping, it means People who feel stewardship, they will practice every environment techniques to prevent other things from happening, like wildfire, like land degradation. They help in preventing land degradation and deforestation. Improves local plant species diversity. Why? Because as long as you put an apiary within a certain area, a beekeeper is supposed to put bee-friendly plant species so that we can improve the pollen and the nectar stocks of the bees, so that you also improve the production of your honey, of the production of the project. There are certain tree species like variegated Scheffrera, bottle brush, Fuchsia, Acacia polyacantha, Bracteria speciformis, Galbanada globiflora, and so many other tree species that can be planted within an apiary to improve welfare of bees and also production. Allows community to feel stewardship towards the environment. With value added addition and product diversification, beekeeping improves. Beekeeping proves to incorporate local community in participating in environmental issues. For example, Chipendeke community in Mutare. Fine. How honeybees benefit the community. Fine. If you do beekeeping, you can benefit honey and other value and other bee products. Yes, for the picture that is on my presentation there, you can see there is honey. I would like to differentiate the types of honey before I go to the pumpkins and the other fruits that are seeing there. We have got on my left, there is darkish honey, and the middle picture shows light honey. And I would like to talk about these two honey. Forage determines the color of honey, and also determines the price. This left picture indicates forest. It's wild forest. It's wildflower forest honey, direct from rural areas. So it is from the indigenous tree species. The middle one is mixed garden flower. We do it in Harare. The resemblance shows that the color is light because of exotic species which you are using, including the pumpkins that you are seeing there. So I wanted to say color of honey is determined by forage. So apart from honey, you can see these are the pumpkins that we are harvesting because we are planting pumpkins as a bee-friendly plant species. It has a lot of nectar and pollen stocks.
Okay.
Why ERIT trains beekeeping? We have got a number of problems associated with human activity. So here I put two different hives, which I'm going to give you how important is each other, how bad is each other. For example, the first hive is log hive. This is a hive started time immemorial. And this hive, as you can see, have got disadvantages a lot. One, to the beekeeper, two, to the community, and three, to the environment. This kind of a hive is manufactured after one destroyed a tree. And you can see that the tree is big. So if you destroy such kind of a tree, what next? It also has poor harvesting in terms of capacity. This hive produces less than 5 kg of honey, but you destroyed a tree which have been saving the environment for more than 30 years. I think you understand how the growth rate of indigenous tree species can do. So one destroying this for 5 kg of honey. So I will come back for how we train this. And then this other Chinho hives is from exotic tree species. If you cut a gum tree today, in the next 6 months, you see it taller than you. So we are encouraging people to take part in having this kind of hives. Why? Because if you have got high capacity of the production, it produces plus or minus 35 kgs of honey, as compared to this one with less than 5 kgs. And also, if you cut a tree of a gum tree or a palm tree, in the next 6 months, you'll be harvesting the same tree. Fine, let me go. I will answer I will answer you maybe when people ask questions.
Yeah.
Incorporating IKS, Indigenous Knowledge System, for bee health and welfare. Fine, as you can see, there is a comparison of two different hives. But what I'm going to retaliate on is the IKS. People in Zimbabwe, we are lacking the adoption of beekeeping. Why am I saying so? Because you say beekeeping is an expensive project, but I say no today. As you can see, this hive has been made with these women. They are trying to close the spaces between. It is made out of sticks, as you can see. If the picture if you can see the picture well, these are sticks which have been put together, coming up with a KTB, which I earlier on retaliated on the previous two pictures that I shown you. So we can start beekeeping with no money using the local available resources. So the other picture is from bamboo. I think a lot of people knows bamboo. They cut the bamboos and connect them up until they come up with the shape of a Kenyan top bar hive. Both of the pictures are an example of Kenyan top bar hive, which I said can produce high production for a farmer. So I encourage people to start do beekeeping using local resources. The last picture of my slide shows Mr. Godfrey after harvesting. So I wanted to say quality of honey started with a beekeeper and also a carpenter. So I would like to advise and encourage my fellow Zimbabweans to embark into this project, as it has a lot of benefits for the community. This marks the end of my presentation. I don't know if the people have good questions or additions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dongaronga. I actually do have a couple of questions, and some questions came from fellow conservationists. I think the first one would be, I think everyone, the first thing, if you are to hear bees, you probably think being stung. And I'm thinking, what kind of precautions do you take as beekeepers? And for someone who's thinking, yeah, I might be interested in beekeeping, but like just general precautions that you yourself take with regards to beekeeping.
Okay, let me address this. Yeah, you must not approach a hive or bees without wearing a complete bee suit. When I say a complete bee suit, I mean they are made in different scenarios. You must wear a jacket or an overall with a handy drill. Also, your hands should be protected with gloves. The head should be in a hat with a veil so that you can see something that you wanted to.
Bees can't come in. Okay.
Yes, and which can prevent bees coming in.
Okay.
That's the first precaution. The second precaution is that don't try to make fire when approaching bees, because one, fire destroys the whole project, as well as if the bees becomes agitated, honestly, they will kill you in trying to protect themselves. The third one, make sure your apiary is protected with a wire or anything that stops people from getting into it, unless seeking permission from the owner of the hive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think these are some of the precautions.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. I think it's good to know, just stay away from bees unless you really have to. And if you are going there, you have to wear your protective clothing. And I think the wall fire and smoke thing is something I actually was told and actually think they say the smoke makes them disoriented or something like that. So I think that's one of those common common stories now. We just believe you, if you're going to get honey, go with a bit of smoke, disorient the bees, and then you're good to go. But it's good to know that they will become actually agitated and you will probably just regret it. And the next question is, I believe you've been teaching beekeeping at schools, maybe communities, and I want to know, how have people been responsive? Have they adopted this? How have they been in regards to receiving this information and education?
Fine. Yeah, I see young people receiving the message very well because we believe in teaching them young. And
Yeah.
the young people, as hearing this message, they want to take over from their parents. We have
Okay.
been at Mazoe, Citrus, we have been at Chimanimani High, we have been at Mtambara, a lot of schools, Maubra High School, and then Emerald School of the Deaf. All the
Okay.
people, besides the nature God created you, like, because I mentioned the Emerald School of Deaf, all people
Okay.
are taking this beekeeping project seriously because they can see there are a lot of rewards from this project. They can
Yeah,
see they
clearly.
can do other things without, they can do other things whilst beekeeping is doing a lot for you. So people are taking this seriously. The problem is we cannot reach everyone at one time. But as long as
True.
we go, as long as we get to connect with you, we believe you can also take this project.
Okay. No,
Women
that's really
also,
good.
yes, women also are another anchor, which we think they are seriously. We are working with Mount Pleasant Heights Women Association. We are working
Okay.
with Ministry of Women's Affairs in Chakowa,
Okay.
ERIT1,
Hmm.
the biggest honey extraction processing center, and we are working with women. Women are seriously, and the youth are also seriously. What we are
Good to hear.
asking for people who can assist is to support the youth,
Okay.
because the youth still have the power. Youth still have ideas. Youth still think something outside the box. But I am not saying our parents are wrong. Also, parents need support, and also encourage those parents to work with the youth, because youth are still thinking things which are very new.
Yeah, innovative, new ideas. No, that's really good. That's really good. And someone listening or someone who's gonna see this and they're thinking, wow, I feel like I wanna actually get into beekeeping, be a woman, could be young people. What would you say would be the best time to start the project, and what would be like the basic, like your starter pack? What would be the best time, and what is like your starter pack to start a beekeeping project?
Fine. Yes, as the Environment Relief Initiative Trust, we believe you cannot do anything without being trained.
Yeah.
The first thing is to capacitate you with correct information so that you cannot go wrong and so that the project cannot delay you.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. What is needed now is, after training, one can embark into massive hive production. But we don't want people who cannot start beekeeping because you want to start with the 10, 20, or start with the one hive. The one hive will buy you 10.
True.
Then we
Okay.
encourage you to have all the precaution measures in place so that you cannot disseminate a wrong information to one who also wants to start, because you approach the bees without a bee suit.
Okay. True.
First, buy a bee suit and a smoker. Even if you have got one hive, that bee suit and the smoker will stretch with you for years. Then you have somewhere else to start a project. The place should be safe.
Okay.
You have to protect the community that you want to do the project from. Go and register this project at DVS, Department of Veterinary
DV.
Services.
Department of,
Department
okay.
Veterinary Services.
Okay. Okay.
Though they also can assist you with a GPS. Whenever fire wants to happen, they will notify you at your phone.
Oh, that's nice.
Also, if your hive is stolen, they will assist you to locate the person who did that, and that person will be sued equivalent to the person who stole a cattle.
A cow. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because why? Because we did a meeting with them and we told them that no, look, one hive produces plus or minus 35 kgs, which is equivalent to 70 bottles if you extract, and each bottle is going for $4 times 70. It's almost close to 210 or above 280, which is the value of one cattle.
Wow, so that is basically stock theft equivalent.
Yeah, because if you come and steal my hive, you are close to someone who comes to my crow and take my cow.
Oh, that is really interesting to know that the veterinary services department is actually involved with the beekeeping community. It's really something new to me. And another question is, you did mention a number of tree species, but then I think if you can just run through them again for someone who's listening or someone who's into tree identification, for them to just know some of the trees that are really, that provide probably pollen and.
Okay. I don't remember the trees that I told you. What I am going to do as a beekeeping expert is to tell you the trees, all the trees bee loves, including crops. Fine. There is Bractegia speciformis. It's Musasa.
Musasa, yes, Musasa.
Then there is Jaubanadia bohemai. It's Munondo.
Okay.
Then there is Jaubanadia globiflora. Just to verify with the names, but I'm sure I can do Kwasongo Posambija. Then there is Pterocoppus angolensis. Then there is bottle brush, white flowered jatropha, and red flowered jatropha. There is also fuchsia. There is avocado. Guava,
you mentioned acacia.
Acacia polyacantha. Okay. There is acacia polyacantha and acacia carew.
Okay.
There is acacia lysistemon. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I've also got some questions from people watching from Facebook. Thanks everyone for joining us. There's Tapio Prosper who's asking, what is the advised size of land one needs to start a beekeeping project? And then he was also asking if there are any legal frameworks that guides beekeeping in residential areas. So the first one is, what's the advised land if someone wants to embark on a beekeeping project, and the legal frameworks for beekeeping in residential areas?
Let me start by the legal framework. The Bees Act is silent of any legalities that a beekeeper can do. It is more onto production. That's the Bees Act.
Okay.
Fine. I'm coming on the land size. Land determined by the number of hives a beekeeper wants to take. For example, I am going to give you the measurements, and I will also help you on what I think at the end. A hive is placed almost 3 meters away from each other, which means I can place a hive here, then 3 steps, I put another hive, 3 steps, another hive, 3 steps, another hive in a line format. Then this is an in-row spacing. There is inter-row spacing of 5 meters, 5 steps. Do you get me well?
Okay.
So you just follow suit what I am saying.
Okay.
Then I wanted to put more emphasis. Fine. The ground of a football pitch is 400 square meters. Is that so?
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, that covers almost 700 to 800 hives. But this is not practical. Why? Because if you follow the steps that I'm telling you, from one hive you need 3 meters so that you put another hive. You can see what I'm saying. Fine. But what stops someone to put 700 or 100 at one place is because the forage bees compete for forage. You can put a lot of hives within a place, but also have a poor production. Have poor production because bees will compete for forage. So it's advisable for you to put at least 60 to 70 hives at one place. For example, if the listener or the one question is looking to the presentation, you can go through this.
Okay.
This is an example of an apiary. You can see the arrangement. Fine.
Yeah.
So there is almost 75 in this area.
Okay.
And almost 63 are colonized. And this is a 2-year project. So far, we have this apiary 4 times because a beekeeper harvests 2 times a year, June, mid-May to end of June, then mid-November to before Christmas, because also bees can go with us for Christmas. If you fail to harvest before Christmas, bees enjoy the honey. It's their Christmas day. And after Christmas, you come and see the empty combs. They will start again. It's an interesting thing.
Clearly interesting. And then I've got another question. I have also something kind of similar. So we got one from Cindy Ndlovu asking, is there a different nutritional value from the different types of honey, for example, between the light and dark? And also someone was also in the same line asking if there is a different nutritional value depending on where the honey comes from. Someone was asking for regions, and then this one's asking between the light and dark. Is there nutritional value differences between the honeys?
Thank you very much. That is a very, very interesting question. Yeah, they are different. I'm not going to say the nutrition. I'm going to say the medicinal value.
Oh,
sorry. Yes, I'm going to shift from the nutrition and I will answer the medicinal value. I'm still also need to know the nutritional value.
Oh,
but
okay.
the medicinal I know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, fine. You know, from time immemorial, we have been taught with our grandfathers that mudumbu or stomach pains can be stopped by eating a root of a certain indigenous tree species. Do you agree with me that?
Yes,
so
I agree.
It means indigenous tree species have got more medicinal value than the ones from mixed flower garden honey. Yes, I'm trying to say indigenous tree species are more medicinal value because we rely on indigenous knowledge as compared to avocado, as compared to mango tree, as compared to gooseberry, because I haven't heard any of the exotic trees except gum tree treating anyone who is sick. So, do you get me?
Yes, I do.
Fine. I'm trying to say indigenous honey is more medicinal value than exotic honey. Depending now on what do you want to use the honey for?
Okay.
But also, coming back to the question,
nutrition.
That's why I said the question is very interesting. In Nyanga, at Chief Changwena, we have got a place called Dazi in Nyafaru and Magadri. We have got 3 apiaries there, which are monofloral, which can produce monofloral honey. If you understand the word mono, it means one. Why we are doing that is because the value of honey from a eucalyptus plot is there is somewhere we have been asked to produce monofloral honey from gum trees in Germany, but we failed because we haven't had those gum trees. And we went to Nyafaru through Chief Tagwena. You guys, can you assist us having our honey, our bees from your eucalyptus plots? And that's where we started producing monofloral honey. So it depends now with the expertise of this. I think this question just needs doctors. Myself, I might have some information based on indigenous knowledge.
Indigenous knowledge, I understand.
But there is need for experts who knows what is the medicinal value, the medicinal component within a species of a tree. That's where. But I think I tried to answer.
No, clearly you did, and it's interesting. It's an interesting scenario, and it would be really interesting if someone actually to check if there have been any studies. I think I'll probably do that later today. Any studies regards to the nutritional value, because I'm thinking different trees, different habitats, different regions probably give different. If the color is going to be different, maybe the nutritional value is going to be different as well. So I
think SARS, if they can approach SARS, because I have been approached also with someone from Standard Association of Zimbabwe, wanted us to have a workshop of the nutritional value and the color. They said they wanted to know, the nutritional value. It was more like a seminar on assessing the nutritional value. However, we failed to do this because of this pandemic, which is causing us having this kind of workshops. But if they approach SARS, they can have information on what they are asking.
Okay, and I'm sadly we are running out of time because of the delay. But I think it's interesting also to understand as a beekeeper yourself, what efforts, what activities are you doing to also safeguard the environment whilst you're also working with these bees? And is this conservation activities, is everyone, are all beekeepers following suit? Are they aware that they could actually have some harmful effects with regards to the environment? Is beekeeping a sustainable beekeeping being practiced by the majority of beekeepers?
Fine. Yeah, we are nurtured differently. But ERIT and other beekeeping organizations, we are trying to come up with some information dissemination modules and also time with communities in trying to safeguard the environment. Like what I said earlier on, we are into wetland rehabilitation and revegetation through bee-friendly plant species. But it's not everyone who is practicing it, though people are hearing what we are preaching about. We also work with the EMA and Forestry Commission. We have modules for EMA, which talks more about putting fire guards around farms. And we are preaching that to farmers, but it's not everyone who is practicing it.
Yeah, sure.
But as ERIT, we are very, very taking the environmental conservation seriously, because we have got fire guards which are, as the EMA regulation and Forest Commission, 9 meters away. And we also practice some other forms of wildfire prevention mechanisms that we had from those government institutions, like prescribed fires, early burning, and etc., etc. We don't do this we don't do selfish in doing these things. We approach for every community with ERIT apiary, or wherever ERIT placed an apiary. When I say apiary, an apiary is a place where beekeeping is practiced. So wherever we put an apiary, we make sure the community within that area is capacitated in beekeeping practices, wildfire practices, and other land degradation scenarios, because we feel that if we don't address community, the project will not succeed. Because if people cut down trees, they are reducing our forage. If people burn, they will reduce forage, habitat, and also reduce biodiversity, because you know fire can destroy. So we make sure each community where ERIT has got an apiary is capacitated fully with this kind of information. Hello?
Okay. No, I'm here. Thanks, taking notes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think that is all with regards to questions. But it's been a very educative and very informative presentation, Mr. Dongaronga, and I really, really thank you. I've learned so much, and I might actually venture into beekeeping sustainably, that is. And today being World Bee Day, I would really like to hear some words from you to anyone who's listening, those who might not be interested in beekeeping, like to the ordinary individual who might pass through seeing this video. What message would you want to be shared to the world with regards to bees, bee conservation, and the World Bee Day?
So come again. Sorry, come again.
I'm saying, what message would you want to share with the rest of the world, everyone listening in, with regards to bees and the World Bee Day?
Okay, fine. Yeah, my message is very simple. I would like to encourage people to remember that bees are creatures of significant value. Let's make sure we cannot make them vulnerable by making unnecessary wildfires, because we have got a lot of vulnerable bees which are in tree hollows, which are in caves, which are not domesticated. Those bees will lack attention when it comes to wildfire. No one can go and rescue them the way we do our apiaries. So, as bee is a creature, let's remember them. Let's not destroy bees, as they also contribute significantly to our agriculture system. They also contribute significantly to our food security. They also contribute significantly to a community level improvement. So from today onwards, if you are one who causes wildfire, stop causing wildfire. Remember, there are other creatures which are outside there, which can also improve the well-being of someone else in the country. So that's my message to anyone towards the World Bee Day. And also, I'd like to say, let's make this a project.
Okay. And to the youth out there who's thinking, should I venture into beekeeping? Still trying to make up their mind. Any words to that person? Young people, especially young people in Zimbabwe.
For young people in Zimbabwe, I might be your brother because I'm also a youth. I might be your young brother. I would like to say, you guys, open your eyes. See, look what the world demands. Bees produces something which is very important, but the project has no stiff competition like growing cotton, which we are trying to venture into, like growing tobacco, like making road runners, brailers, whatsoever, which need more of your time. Just come, we train you, you embark, you start even with one hive and multiply that hive into 10 and do it continuously. You become a millionaire in the next few years. I am left with only 3 years so that I will become a billionaire, because I believe beekeeping is a $1 billion industry, which is I'm trying to look for a word, which is underutilized. Flowers are there naturally, water is there naturally, forests are there naturally. What stops you just to make just to connect Mapanga to Godfrey one hive. You guys, let's wake up. There is a lot which I didn't mention in this presentation, like value addition, product diversification. I just pinpoint, but I didn't talk too much about them. So we are saying, if you are afraid of bees, come to ERIT. We sell wax for you. You make candles. You are a beekeeper. If you are afraid of bees, come buy candles from us. You are a beekeeper. Everyone is a beekeeper, depending on what role do you play.
What role
As
you
long
play.
as you involve any bee products in it, you are a beekeeper.
Okay.
That's my message, my sister.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dongaronga. It's been very informative. I'm sure a lot of people have really benefited from this presentation, and we will be in touch with ERIT. I myself will definitely be in touch. I need some honey, and I think also I might become a beekeeper this year.
Yeah.
After lockdown, that is. But thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you very much.
And to everyone else who was listening in and everyone who's participating, thank you so much. And I hope everyone managed to grab something, some words of wisdom, some really good advice from our fellow youth, Mr. Godfrey here. And I also want to encourage people that the week is not over. Remember, it is Biodiversity Week. Tomorrow, please join us for a webinar that's from 3 to 4:30, Connecting People and Nature webinar. We've got a lovely number of hosts from UNESCO Rosa. Those will be our guest speakers. So hopefully you'll join us tomorrow, even you, Godfrey. The week is not over. Biodiversity Week. Let's not celebrate other things other than bees only. Everything is involved. So I think that will conclude today's webinar. And thank you, everyone. Hoping you really benefited as much as I did. And thank you for the support. And keep bees, keep them safe. And everyone else, keep safe during lockdown. Wash your hands, social distancing, and everything that needs to be done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Mr. Godfrey. Bye-bye, everyone else.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Sharp.
Okay.